Hi, this is Ping. Today I'm going to show you how you can save up to 20% of your advertising budget on your Google Shopping campaigns thanks to CSS comparison shopping services. These are price comparison services that have platforms where you can showcase your product feed and thus display them on Google Shopping. In fact, Google Ads had to allow competition on its platform to comply with European regulations. That's why on ads like Google Shopping, here you'll see that sometimes they are shown by Google, by Product Hero, by Data Feed Watch, which are different CSS providers. And the advantage of going through them is that in theory, you'll be able to get lower CPCs and save 20% on clicks. In this video, we're going to use Product Hero. It's the most well-known CSS that I use on all my stores, and it's one of the cheapest, I believe. The paid plan starts at 40 euros per month for your first store. Then it's 20 euros per month for additional stores for the premium CSS plan, which is more than enough. Even I haven't upgraded to the Pro plan yet. For my 20 stores, I stick with this plan. It's enough for me. So you'll be able to install it easily by clicking on Add an Online Store and filling in the various requested details, and you'll get 30 days free, I believe, at the start before you actually have to pay. Once you've filled in the information, you can move on to the next step, enter your store name, your store URL, and the Merchant Center ID, which you can find in your Merchant Center account. At the top right, you'll see a number, and that's the number you need to copy and paste here. Then proceed to the next step. And here, above all, do not check this box. It's an upsell trying to get you to pay to upgrade to the Pro plan. We don't need it, as I mentioned, and you can add your payment details now. A few hours later, you'll receive an email from Product Hero telling you to go to the General Settings, Account Options, and click on Review Request to validate the request. I received mine the next day because I did it over the weekend, so sometimes it can take a little longer. Let's go. Now we go into the Merchant Center, then into Settings, General, Account Options, and at the top here you see Review Request from Product Hero. You click on it and you confirm, and there you go, the change request has been confirmed. They say it can take up to 14 days. Usually on their end it takes a few hours or it will be done the next day. And then the switch will be made on your account. Instead of seeing Google Shopping here, you'll see Product Hero. So here we are again the next day. Here I received an email from Product Hero saying that the change has been made. And now if I go to the Merchant Center account, we can see that the CSS name has indeed changed to Product Hero. And now theoretically the CPCs should decrease on my Google Shopping campaigns in Europe. However, in reality, it's still really hard to track this kind of data to see if I'm actually paying 20% less or not. Otherwise, we can try to filter here. For example, instead of looking at 2 months, we'll set it from May 12th to June 12th when I hadn't implemented the CSS yet. We had an average CPC of 30 cents. And once the CSS was implemented, for example, from the 13th to the 13th of July, well, we saved 3 cents on the average CPC apparently. Let's check this on another store, for example, on a second store where I implemented it on the same date. If we look, for example, from the 12th to the 12th, we have a CPC of 20 cents here. Then from the 13th to the 13th, same thing, we saved 3 cents. So it drops to 0.17 for the average CPC. So we're looking at roughly 10 to 15% savings apparently. Then we'll have to see if I had more impressions, more, well, depending on the spend, if necessary, the ratio might be different. Next, on this particular store, it's the very same situation. From the 12th of the month to the 12th of the month, I personally spent with an average CPC, which is the cost per click, of precisely 0.48. And then moving forward from the 13th of the month to the 13th of the month, it's currently at 0.42. Alright, so here we still have a noticeable and beneficial 6 cent saving on the overall average CPC, which is quite significant. That's actually pretty good in the end. So I can only recommend that you run your own tests on your stores.